Welcome back to Team Z Live.
On my last day.
We're just no, your last day. How can it be your last day? Because there's going to be nobody here when I win the Powerball. I don't know what you're talking about. But everyone is talking about what to do with $1.5 billion because everyone believes they're going to be the people who win it. I've even had people in this office curse at me because they feel like they're not going to be working here.
It's funny because there are people in the office who are angry if a particular person bought tickets as if that's going to somehow shift the balance here, which is insane. But there's an issue. Somebody eventually is going to win this, and you could be watching.
Most likely one of you watching right now.
It could be you.
Yeah.
It could be you. So the question, what do you do if you come into all this money like that? And there's nobody better to ask than a shark. Right?
You're referring to the Shark Tank sharks, right?
I am.
Yeah, because a regular shark doesn't.
So Kevin O'Leary is one of them, and I can't wait for this, actually. Kevin joins us right now. Hey, Kevin.
Great to be here.
So listen, let's get into it. So give us the 3 do's and 3 don'ts if somebody happens to be watching this who ends up winning this thing.
All right, here's the #1 thing you don't do. When you get this money, I'm going to walk you through the numbers now. I'm going to assume $1.6 billion by tonight because the lineups here in Miami are crazy. Every guy and his dog is buying 10 tickets. It's just going to keep going. So let's assume it's $1.6 billion. You do not leave that in the state's hands. You don't want a Puerto Rico situation with a state that owes you hundreds of millions of dollars goes bankrupt. So you take the full cash payment up front, which is about 50%.
Right.
So assume 1.6. We now have 800 million. Still a fair amount of change. I like it. Okay. But we've got to pay tax. The government, depending on what state you're in, let's say worst case, 50%. Mm-hmm. That leaves us with 400 million.
So the 1.6 becomes 8 just if you take the full payout?
Yeah.
It's
yes,
50%?
You have to take the present value.
I didn't realize it was 50. I didn't realize it was 50%.
Thank goodness you've met me. Otherwise, you'd be confused about the winnings.
Oh, my God. Okay, now I know. So I've got to be a little more conservative than I planned. Keep going.
Yes, you've got to cut back a little bit. So now we're sitting, after we've paid all our taxes, with 400 million, even though we started with 1.6 billion. That's why you've got to understand this thing's a bit of a marketing issue. Now we're 400 million. I still like it. It's still good pocket change. Now, here's what happens. You take that $400 million and you put it into at least 3 financial institutions because you can only guarantee 250,000, so you need some diversification. Remember, it was only a few years ago these banks were going bankrupt with your cash in them, so you need a few banks. Now, here's what you do. You buy a series of government bonds and AAA, the highest credit quality corporate bonds, and you're going to make about 4%. That gives you, after tax, about $600,000 a month. Each month.
A month?
You know what? I just made a classic error. Can you believe this? I'm flying around here. I'm doing this in my head. Sorry. It's $166,000 a month. Now you're poor.
That's what I thought.
Oh, yeah. Now you're poor.
Well, now you created this expectation, and now it's like, my God. So you're making like 1.4 a year, 1,400,000 a year.
After tax.
After tax.
After tax.
That's the cash you have in your jeans. So here's what's going to happen.
Okay, Kevin, I want to stop you for a second.
You're unimpressed now.
No, I'm actually really impressed. But here's my takeaway from this. As crazy as it sounds, you've got to let everyone in your life know that the 1.6 billion becomes 1.4 million a year right out of the starting gate, so they don't just kill you by hounding you, right?
Yeah, you don't even have enough money to come on Shark Tank. Jump change. Sorry.
See? Now, what about there's a whole thing now where a lot of people are saying if you win something like this, you want to stay anonymous because it'll ruin your life if people know.
No, get it out there. You know, here's what's going to happen. I'll give you some advice about this. Every friend you have, every family member, including the ones that haven't sent you a card in 10 years, are going to call you. And here's your answer. To every family member that says, you've got to help me out, I want to start a bowling alley, a restaurant, a club, whatever, your answer's the same. I'm not going to lend you money. I'm going to give you money under one condition and one condition only.
You never ask me again.
I give you the gift. You never call me again. I didn't love you that much last week. I certainly don't love you after I gave you 10 grand.
Kevin, we're out of time, but I'm curious. Did you buy a ticket?
Oh, you know why I'm in this truck? Check it out, boys.
You got a truckload of... Nice.
It's hot in here. It's hot in here.
Hey, Kev.
Don't wave him by the window.
Kevin,
Someone
just so
walking by.
you know,
You got it.
Kevin, I got way more than those. I went out at 5 in the morning today.
I've got bad news for you. Bad news for you. Neither of us are going to win anything. This is sheer entertainment. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to win. There you
Maybe,
go.
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Kevin, thank you for the time.
You got it, guys.
Okay, we'll see you.
And then it'll be $2 billion.
God, somebody's got to win this. It's insanity.
I don't know
It is
if anyone's gonna win.
insanity if nobody wins this. If nobody wins this one, it's going to be $4 billion eventually.
It's going to get ugly.
It's going to get totally ugly.